Will the Houston Rockets make the playoffs? Will they trade James Harden? What to expect from this Houston team? Look, it's going to be a very interesting year. We have no idea if James Harden is still going to be on the roster next year, but they're making plays as if they're going to keep him on the roster. So let me hear down below. What do you think the Rockets are going to do? Are they going to trade James Harden before the season? Are they going to trade him during the trade deadline? Or are they going to wait till next season to trade him? And if they don't trade him, do you think they'll make the playoffs? So let's talk about it. What to expect from the Houston Rockets. Let's go. Who led this hiring? Is it Steven or Stephen Siles? I'm just going to go by Coach Siles. Look, yeah, I know he is the son of a former NBA coach, and he's been a long time assistant coach since 2000, and he's 46, 47 years old. There's no exact number on what he actually is, what day he's born, just says 46, 47. Look, he was Steve Clifford's assistant for 8 years pretty much in Charlotte. Then he's just spent the past 3 years in Dallas. Look, this guy never, ever has shown that he's gonna to be impressed or had impressive players on the team that he's been an assistant coach. Okay, so what is this? Are you guys trying to find a diamond in the rough, or are you guys trying to fucking? I don't understand. I don't understand this hiring. Can someone tell me down below why they hired this guy? That's my rant. Let's go and talk about the rest of the team. Look, I really want to know. Did James Harden not want Russell Westbrook there? Because I thought he was the reason they brought Russell Westbrook originally. I think this was like a message they were sending to James Harden. So I want to know if James Harden knew about this message. My belief is probably not. He probably didn't know. Look, Russell Westbrook still had a 21 PER. He was a decent player. Yeah, I know he was inefficient. But look, he still averaged 27.2 points. He had about 8 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal and a half a game, about half a block a game. Yeah, he had about 4.5 turnovers, but so does James Harden. Okay? So I want to know if this was the choice of James Harden. I don't think so. But look, they get John Wall, who's younger, and they get a first-round pick. Yeah, I don't think he'll ever amount to much, but at least they get a player. They get a player technically out of that. Look, John Wall, I just think you got to have both these players synonymously in there. I think John Wall might be able to come back from this injury. I think he'll be a guy who'll average 16 and 10. I know, maybe let's go 16 and 8. I think 10 assists is much because you have James Harden on this roster. 16 and 7 or 16 and 8 for this team. He'll start shooting efficiently. I think we'll see a very different game in John Wall. I don't think he'll be still playing the usual just bulldog, just workhorse, kind of like a running back in the NFL, like a bull in a china shop, just wrecking shit, just scoring like that. I think he's going to be a lot more crafty. He's going to find interesting ways to score. He's going to be more of a shooter, I think, more of a passer too. He's always been a great passer, but I think he's going to be a good defender. I still think he'll bring his elite defense to the team. But how would they run it? Is James Harden going to still bring up the rock? Which I assume if he's still on the roster, he's going to bring up the rock. But John Wall, he's not an off-ball guy. You got two guys who still need the ball in their hands to usually make plays. So unless you're expecting John Wall to start playing off-ball, which I doubt, are you going to start having James Harden play off-ball? I doubt. They both like their ISOs. I don't think John Wall will be doing as much ISOs as he used to be. But this will be very interesting. Christian Wood, I really like this guy. Man, Christian Wood, look, I know he could be a risk, but he had about what was his PR? I think it was 21 PER. His PR was 23.2 this year. He had 13 points, 6.3 rebounds a game, shot 56% from the field and 38.6% from 3 and 74% from the free throw, and had an efficient field goal percentage of 62%. Yeah, I know. He's bounced around his time around the league. He's played for multiple teams, and is this going to be who he really is? Because this was kind of a breakout season. Could it be an anomaly? But if we look at his New Orleans days where he played 8 games and had 2 starts, he put up 16 points and he put up 7.9 total rebounds, and he did shoot 28% from 3, but he did put the same field goal percentage. And knowing that, so if we add those to the sample size, that's 70 games and 14 starts. Man, I really think Christian Wood's going to work out with the pick and rolls and everything. I think he'll be a good fit. I've said this before. It all comes down depending on how Demarcus Cousins recovers. I kind of combined those words right there. Demarcus Cousins recovers from the Achilles and ACL tear will be the kind of the catalyst we use to define how Klay Thompson will recover. I know he's a bigger man and he plays a different position and he used his athleticism a lot more than our man Klay Thompson did. But I said this in the Warriors video. How DeMarcus comes back will be how the league deems Klay Thompson will come back. But DeMarcus, wow, it's been a while. I'm just sitting here looking up in the sky, reminiscing. DeMarcus Cousins, what a hell of a basketball player. You remember back in Sacramento, how dominant that guy? I'm getting chills thinking about that. At least giving you 20 and sometimes even 15 rebounds with those 20 points. Oh my God, I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be a guy who'll give you 15 and 10. 15 points, 10 rebounds, a block a game, block and a half a game maybe half a steal a game. Hopefully he becomes a better playmaker. Maybe he's been watching game and he's like, look, I got to play make more. Look, I was a really good playmaker. I've always been a great ball handler. Why don't I start doing the Jokic thing? Let me go off the high post. Let me start passing out of there. Let's try to do that. I know James Harden loves his pick and rolls. So we'll see those pick and rolls all the time. I know he loves them pick and rolls. So we'll be seeing those all the time. He loves them. I know he does. And he's gonna go there. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how this team does and how Demarcus Cousins recovers from this injury. Are we gonna see like Eric Gordon become the third man, the third scorer on this team? Like Eric Gordon did score 14 points a game. And Eric Gordon is an interesting player for them. I do like Eric Gordon. He's 31 years old. He's been in the league for 12 years. Yeah, his PR was 10.3 last year, and he just shot 31% from three, which, is not the greatest. But Eric Gordon is a really good player, and he's been a guy who, in his third and fourth season, averaged 22 and 20 points a game. Yeah, he hasn't done that in a while. The most he averaged was 18 almost 3 years ago for the Houston Rockets. But if he can get back up to being at least a 36% three-point shooter, hopefully he can be like a 37, 38, and he can get up to 18 points a game. I really do think this team can be a playoff team if they can put everything together and really just have harmony and chemistry and really buy in, and James Harden doesn't get traded. Unless they trade James Harden for a really good player or a bunch of picks and still are able to do kind of how OKC did and was still able to make the playoffs. Do I think James Harden's going to go to the Brooklyn Nets? I don't know. There hasn't been much talk about it. If there was going to happen, there'd be a lot of talk about it. But at the same time, when there's not much talk about it, it means it's most likely to happen because stuff has been coming out of left field like we've never seen before. So it's really, really interesting to see what's going to happen, who they're going to get, or what the potentials, who they could get. I don't know. Like, honestly, I do think this team's going to be at least the 8th seed. I think they can be the highest, the 6th seed, maybe the 5th seed. But, the West is difficult. So depends on how Stephen or Stephen Siles becomes as a coach. Is he really that good? I know he's Brown University, Ivy League educated man. So, what's going to happen? I don't know. I really would like to hear your guys' opinion down below on who you would think that the Houston Rockets would be, what you think the team's going to be like. I think it's going to still be a lot of pick and rolls and shooting. Hopefully a lot more rebounding. This is going to be the biggest team we've seen from the Houston Rockets in a while. Though, I'm just sitting here wondering, like, who is going to be able to be the third guy or the guys next to James Harden? Obviously, John Wall, Demarcus Cousins, and Eric Gordon are all there to do that. There's a bunch of other guys. They did let a bunch of guys go this year, they let Damari Carroll leave, Tyson Chandler, Robin Covington, Michael Frazier, Jeff Green, William Howard, Luke Mambeamuta, Austin Rivers, Thabo Sefolosha, Russell Westbrook. And they brought in Sterling Brown, DeMarcus Cousins, Jerian Grant, Gerald Green, Mason Jones, KJ Martin, Jay Sean Tate, John Wall, Christian Wood, and Kenny Wooden. So it's an interesting roster, to say the least. But we'll see what happens with this team. Will they be able to be as good as they think they will be? But, all it'll take is for time. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys do have a great day because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Peace out.